Welcome everyone. This is Top Tier Tips. Greetings everyone. This is Force Nature of Top Tier Tips, and I'm welcoming you back to your Prime Software for tips and tricks to help you level up at Dead or Alive 6. Alright, in this session we're going to be taking a look at the no one other than the purple-haired badass herself, Ayane. Or according to Watch Mojo, Ayane. Yeah, I kind of cringed also when I heard it pronounced like that. Anyways, I'm just going to be going over some tidbits about Ayane. Okay, she's a half-sister of Kasumi. She was shunned by her village. She's the bastard child of Raidu. Her foster father of the Hajaman clan, Genra, turned into an abomination known as Omega, and she tries to kill Kasumi numerous times. Anyways, I'm just going to give you some heads up that this guide may have some overlap with my Dead or Alive 5 last round Ayane guide, which well, you can check that one out also just to see if there's any sort of like similarities or in terms of like how her playstyle is, some consistency. So yeah, be sure to check that one out also. All right, so with regards to Ayane's gameplay, I consider her to be a kind of a Jill of all trades. What that means is that she's comfortable fighting at like any range, and she's a very versatile character. But I do find that her strengths tend to lie around spacing and zoning, so she's very good if you like to control space. The main thing to keep in mind when playing Ayane is using the right move at the right range, whether it be like a jab in close, a mid kick around like a mid range, or like a keep out poke around like long range, for instance. So once you're done Ayane's command training, and her combo challenge, so you're now ready to whoop ass online with Ayane. Hold on. There's a lot more to it than that. Alright, I mentioned earlier that a key component to playing Ayane is knowing to use the right move at the right range. Alright, right now I'm going to be starting at close range right now. Alright, the main attacks you're going to be using in close is things such as Ayane's like jabs, or even a single jab, which you can see right here can turn her around. You're also going to use her 2P, or like her 6P. So stuff like 6P have follow-ups and whatnot. There's also her 6K, which can stun on normal hit. Alright, I'll show you just a few frames right here with regards to her close range pokes. Now you see right here, this right here is my favorite box in all of fighting games. This is the move detailed box. With this box right here, it tells you so many little like goodies right here. You could scroll, I think, up to 3 times, so you see all your frames and damage info. You can see your frame delay info, and right here you can have your distance, your distance info and stuff like that. So it's a pretty awesome box. All right, so right here, Ayane's jab is 10 frames, and it's neutral on hit. Her 2P is 12 frames, also neutral on hit. Her 6P is 13 frames, and it's it's negative on hit because it has follow-ups, and her 6K is 13 frames and plus 12 on hit. So these moves are the moves you're going to be using in close primarily. These are essentially your pokes. But for other things that you also might use in close, even though, I mean, like, if you're going to be playing a safe Ayane, then just use variations of those ones. And of course there's falls and stuff like that. So now if you want to get a little fancy and want to use some crushes, I like 1P. If you know the opponent's going to throw out a high, you can also use 4P, but I tend to prefer 1P. And another one you can also do for a free launch is right here. That's the 8K, and you can get a nice little low hit juggle with this one. All right, other moves I like to use in close range is stuff like Ayane's KK. This move right here is a 12 frame high kick that has tracking ability and all does decent damage, like right here with my favorite box in the whole world, the move details box. You can see right here that the second hit comes out in 19 frames. So if you hit both of them, you get 33 damage. If you just hit one, so that's 12 frames, you get plus 2, 22, and he does 22 damage. And as you can see right there, it's a track and high kick. So Ayane's KK is really good. Other stuff I like to do in close is like PP, 6K, PP, 6P, 6P3, PP, 6P3. So there's like a bunch of stuff you can do. But if you just want to be an annoying bum to your opponent, just mash 2P and like whatever. Also give you a heads up also, the Ayane's throw game is also really good. If you want a good high crushing close range with Ayane, as always, good old 2H plus K. As you can see right here, this move still stuns on normal hit. So with the box on right now, you can see right here you get +9, so that's quite a bit of frame advantage. Unfortunately, you can't follow up with anything with that, but you can still, well, you have advantage, so you can still end up like pressuring your opponent with like with whatever. So it's always good. All right, I think I like to do with Ayane in close range is to abuse her 6P3. As you can see, that's inputted there by forward P, then diagonal forward. All right, doing this is better than just doing like a raw 6P on block, because I'll just show you some little frame stuff right now. If you're to do a raw 6P on block, you leave yourself at -10, so if the opponent calls you out on that, they can punish you for that. However, watch, if you do 6P3, you're now -7 as opposed to -10, so, and you're also forward facing, so the opponent can't punish you for that. If you wanted to, you can end up back turn also if you press back. But I usually do recommend doing this, because right now what happens is if you just keep doing 6B3, the opponent can kind of like jab you out of it or can like elbow you out of it. But if you free cancel into a guard, then you are able to block retaliation from the opponent. So you can use it to try and bait out an elbow or a low jab or whatever from the opponent. But one thing I tend to like from 6B3 is when you nail this bad boy on counter hit. Right now, when you nail this on counter hit, you are in control of your opponent. They are going to have to guess between a few options. All right, but first let's just see. Right here, you're at a juicy +22 if you nail this bad boy on counter hit. Let me just get this off right now, because right now, let me just show you now with 6B3. So with 6B3, what you could do is you could just do you can end up doing like multiple kicks like that. So that's like a low mid or low. So right there's one option. Another option you can do is 6P punch, and then you end up getting a launcher to a combo. So right there you can do a little small combo of that. But now if you end up hitting 6P, if you end up hitting 6P3 on counter hit, look at this. See, with doing 6B3 HPK or H plus K, you can end up doing something really nasty now. So you can end up doing that. Right now I don't have any more meter, but if you had meter, then you're able to do a break blow, and you can end up extending your combo for quite a bit of damage. Really sweet. So yeah, 6B3 is really dangerous. But generally speaking, opponents tend to be looking out for the low kick, so they may be trying to hold the low. They might end up trying like doing a low hold on the low kick, so you do have to be a bit careful of that. But now with now 2 launchers to worry about, a mid punch, and I think that's a mid kick. Oh, this move is going to be another pain in the neck for the opponent. Alright, once you're good in close range with Ayane, let's take a look at stuff from mid-range. Alright, for mid-range, some pokes I recommend is stuff like her 3K string, which starts off with a mid-kick, then it can go up to a total of 4 strikes. So a mid-kick, then 3 high kicks. They are fully delayable. Though of course the last 3 hits are all high. You also can choose to end with a low kick, so that's another option you can. That's another option you can have right there. Apart from 3K, another option I can recommend is her 3P. All right, this move I will give you a heads up that it is actually fairly negative on both hit and very negative on block. So yeah, it's very negative on block in general. But what you have to really get used to and get accustomed to is utilizing the highly delayable follow-ups. Like I'll show you right now that if like for instance 3 PP. So the first follow-up is 3 PP. See right here you get a free launch, then you can combo the opponent. So generally what you're gonna do with 3Ps, you could do a free cancel, but if the opponent does try to like punish it with like a throw or something like that, then delay 3p, then you can end up getting a launch. If they try and throw you in between, then you'd get high counter damage, which is pretty sweet. Alright, so if the opponent's accustomed to defending against the mid or the mid follow-up, then you have a highly delayable low follow-up. And for this low follow-up can stun on either... It can stun on either normal hit or counter hit. So you can do it quickly. You can delay it, so that's really nice. Alright, that's a couple of mid options right there, 3k, 3p. Another option, if you want a low option, the one I recommend is your 3p. Here, this right here is a 20 frame low punch that also has a highly delayable follow-up in 3p 2k, although I will let you know that it's just two lows, and that the 3p is negative on... I can show you right here that it is negative on normal hits, so you do want to be a little careful with just doing free cancels. Again, it's just -2, but so yeah, you probably don't have to work. So you're not at frame advantage if you do it, but the opponent does have to respect the highly delayable follow-up. So this is a nice little poke here. It has pretty good range. Remember, you can check it with this right here to see how much range 3p has. Look at that, 2.23 meters. Like, so that's a good low poke. Alright folks, I just showed you the kind of standard pokes that you can end up doing with the Ayane from around mid-range. But right now I'm going to show you some more other, slightly more advanced stuff, or almost sneaky stuff you can do with Ayane. Alright, you probably know from before that I really like Ayane's 6p3, this move right here. Alright, this move is good in close, especially on counter hit, because of the ability to like, free cancel and to mix up your opponent. But this move is also good if you use it from range to almost try and bait a response from the opponent. Because you can just free cancel into a block if they try and do like a fast low crush or something to be able to beat out this poke. So if you want to try and poke the opponent with their low kick sweep swing, which is a good tracking move. So, but yeah, 6p, I love just like doing this move at range. So because you can just do this, you can also remember turn backwards. You can end up doing like a back turn 6k, which is a good move in general. So like this, and then you can just turn around and do a back turn 6k. So I will let you know that move is advantage on block, which makes it a really sweet move on block if you can like could set that up back turn 6k. But yeah, 6p3 is good. Another thing you can also do is her 9p3, which looks almost exactly the same. The difference is 9p does 22 damage as opposed to 18 damage. And another thing also to keep in mind is something like Ayane's 6pk right there, that move. This move is considered semi-safe on block. Like if you get it at tip range, it's -6. If you just block in general, it's -7. That means that the opponent can only throw you with a breakable neutral throw. And so it's basically, for the sake of argument, unless you're facing a grappler that have 6 frame punish throws, you basically can't get punished for that string. But if you do the 9pk version, if you do the 9pk rate version, you have slightly more range with it. So this is also a pretty sweet move. And of course, if you get the tip range at -6, you're basically almost unpunishable. And as you can see right there, it's a good tracking move. So I love poking with 6p3 from range, or 9pk or 9p3. All right, other moves you can poke with is just their Ayane's 5k or neutral k right here. This is 12 frame high kick, has good range. It's great for stuffing or intercepting approaches. So her K or her KK is also really good. Her neutral K does leave her back turn, so you can now get used to her this saber strike move that Ayane has. It looks awesome. Her back turn 6p plus K. Look at that. This bad boy is -8 on block, and look at that pushback. So this is really good. So something like this can be used to set it up. You can also use that on stun too, and you get a beautiful little gut stun with a back turn 6p plus K. So it's a pretty sweet move. Another thing you can also do from mid-range I love doing is just simply jabbing, then press 8p or 4-4, whatever you prefer. So what I like to do sometimes is to use this just to check your opponent. So right here, this is pretty much a safe attack to chuck out your jabs. So you can basically throw jabs. Of course, are good and close. You can do them at range. So because it sets up back turn, you also can set up some attacks from back turn also. Like this move here is our old critical burst attack from Dead or Alive 5 last round, but this move is still a safe on block. Well, it's -8 on block, but it's fully safe because look at that gigantic pushback that move has. So that's another sweet move. And if you want to swag a bit around mid-range with Ayane, try doing this. Do jab, then do P plus K, 1. Or you can also do jab, then P plus K, 3. The reason why I do this is because from forward facing, P plus K comes out as a 13 frame move. But if you do it from like back turn, so you can use jab to go in back turn, then it becomes an 11 frame move. So just doing jab, then if the opponent ends up running into it or anything like that, so you can use it as like an intercept. So which is pretty neat. So you can end up doing some kind of spin stuff. So like with a back twirl P, back twirl K, or just like spinning. So you can kind of get creative with that sort of movement. Alright, for Ayane around long range, your focus is going to be around just keep out pretty much. Ayane's keep out game is excellent, and if you have a life lead over your opponent, you're never obligated to have to go into them. So you can just do your generic 4-4 or 6-6 4-4 movement and just simply just hang around there, and the opponent has to come in to you if you have a life lead. If they have the life lead, then yes, you're eventually going to go into them. But luckily, Ayane does have some good movement options, such as you can use her 8P right here. It does a little dash back and forth, and it changes her from front stance to back turn stance. As you probably can guess, Ayane has a pretty large back turn stance moves, especially if you went through Ayane's command training. But seriously, look how many back facing strikes Ayane has. I mean, with Ayane, it's like you have to learn 2 characters. You have to learn Ayane's face, and you have to like learn her butt or something like that. Oh, but don't worry, you only have to learn a few of her back turn strikes at first, because really, if you want to learn like all of Ayane's like 150 moves, you're just gonna drive yourself nuts if you do it first. So I'm gonna just say right now, baby steps is the way to learn an Ayane. Just baby steps, like a little at a time, like that. But anyway, back to Ayane at long range. Her poke you are going to be trying to use now is her 3H plus K. Alright, I will give you a little heads up that this move is actually a bit nerfed from how it was in Dead or Alive 5 last round. It is now minus 13 on block, but if I were to like bring up the fight info right now, the move, if for instance Kasumi was to block it, you see, I see right there it's minus 13 on block, but it is also 22 frames, so that is pretty quick recovery. So the opponent, what that means is that it has short blocks, and then the opponent has to be pretty on top of their punishment in order to punish you for using that. But I mean, yeah, you can't use it for free as much as Dead or Alive 5, but it's still better than, let's say, doing like this move right here, which is like minus 17 on block. But still, if you end up hitting some opponent with this move, I mean, you could do some cool stuff with it. Like, check it out. Yeah, 3H plus K is still a really good move, but yeah, you have to watch at minus 13 on block, because competent stalwart opponents will punish you if you misuse that move. But yeah, look all that sweet stuff you can do off it. In the info section down below, I will give you the kind of notations to show you those combos. I will let you know that some of the trickier combos there do require micro dash in order to do them, such as like with this one, like that one right there, which you can also still do in Dead or Alive 5 last turn. And this you require a little micro dash. And for the combos involved in the break bowl, you may need a little assistance from a corner so the opponent doesn't flop away too far. But anyways, for Ayane, going back to Ayane at range, like apart from trying to keep your opponent out with that, generally the kind of bait options that you use from mid range, such as like 6B3 or just jab into back turn P plus K, you can still use those, because remember, when you have the life lead, the opponent has to come to you and you don't have to come to them. But if you do have to go in, then I recommend just using generic movement like this, and maybe sometimes try and do baits. But what you're focusing on doing when the opponent has the life lead and you have to get in is just try and inch in a bit, then try and get into like your poke ranges. Alright, earlier I mentioned that Ayane's throw game is really good. Alright, so right now I'll just go over I'll just go over her throws in general. Right here is her 5-frame neutral throw, about 45 damage, nothing too special. Right here is her forward throw, so she has 2 7-frame throws, 6T and 4T. These are great for... They're great for just creating some space between you and your opponent, and they both have wall versions too, also, which is great. Here's a 10-frame throw, quarter circle T, leaves her with some space. You could do a back roll stuff if you so desire. Her forward T throw, another 10-frame. See, it's a 2-part throw. It is breakable, but so when you see combo throw, press T again, you get extra damage, about 62, I think. And now for her 12-frame throws, quarter circle back T. All right, in Dead or Alive 6, throws seem to do somewhat modest damage on normal throw. So right here, yes, this is her 12-frame throw, quarter circle back T to 62 damage. But what if I were to hit it on high counter? Look right here, let's say the opponent holds or does something like that. You get high counter damage, you'll get 98. So when you end up stunning the opponent and they end up doing a hold or something, throw them, and you get massive high counter throw damage. And now onto Ayane's other 12-frame throw, 6-4-T. As you see right here, this throw grants Ayane plus 16 frame advantage, and she also gets to attack her opponent's back for free. All right, with plus 16 advantage, Ayane gets guaranteed launchers. So you can get like a free 4P plus K or a free 6PP. So you can get like solid damage for it. Here, I'll show you some stuff with the throw. Alright, on to the rest of Ayane's throws. Alright, right here she has some special throws such as her 8T or jump and throw. You get 50 damage, and it's kind of a sneaky throw right here. It looks actually similar to another strike which you can use for keep out, is her 8H plus K, which also has a low follow-up, so this throw kind of looks like it. But yeah, they're both high, so the opponent should crouch anyway. So yeah, but you get 50 damage. Used to be 60 in Dead or Alive 5 last round, but remember, throws do 160% damage if they hit on high counter, so that's a nice bit of damage. Alright, from back turn, Ayane has her back turn T. It is a beautiful, unbreakable 6-frame throw. Right there, it gets you 50 damage, which is alright though, and of course you get over 70 damage if it hits on high counter. And for a nice hefty amount of damage, but a much more riskier throw, you have her back turn 6T, or it can also be 6-6T. So this throw gives you 65 damage. So on if I were to set this to high counter, see how much damage that throw does. 104 damage, pretty hefty, huh? And you can if the opponent tries to do a stand and hold, then they're going to be eating 104 damage in that throw. So that is really sweet. Here's Ayane's crouch and throws. Here's her 2T, her 5-frame throw, it's 50 damage. Here's her 1T, 7-frame throw. But an interesting thing to keep in note with low throws in general is they have really fast recovery. See here, your 5-frame throw has 21 frames recovery, and the 7-frame throw has 19 frames recovery, so that's really quick. Look at a normal stand and throw. See, 23 frames, 24 for like a 7-frame, 25 for like a 10-frame. Here, 26 if you whiff your rim. So you kind of get the idea. Yeah, see, the 12-frame throws have a lot of recovery. So during stun or whatever, you can end up doing like a low throw to try and, if the opponent like does a low hold or something, and end up getting your 160% damage. Ayane has this very special low throw for people that like to low hold while Ayane has her back turn. Look at this bad boy right there. Look at that. Let's see how much damage that is. Look at that, 96 damage off of this low throw right here. That one's amazing. So yeah, so when Ayane's back turn, don't think that you can just low hold under everything, or you're gonna be eating a crap ton of damage. If you manage to encounter an opponent that has their back turned to you and are and they're crouched or anything like that, hey, who knows? It happens. You have a couple options to be able to throw them if you so desire. You have Ayane's 1T here, which gives her around 63 damage, which is pretty nice. And you also have another nifty throw right here. Right there, which is her crouching 2T, so you can try and figure out some juggles with that or whatever. Alright, let's say you got your opponent back in your corner with Ayane. So you're going to really aggro with your Ayane and you have your opponent back to a wall. Alright, so what do you use? Alright, you could wall slam with like 6BK, and then your wall juggle will be PP, 6BK. Alright, stuff you can use to wall slam with, and it's usually better on counter hit. Stuff like H plus K, the KK, 3K, even though if you see right there, 3K causes a smaller wall slump. This is the wall slump previously from DOA 4 as opposed to the DOA 5 one. So what that means is the opponent has the ability to be able to hold out of it, so you could use it as an opportunity to relaunch for an extra juggle. So you have to see like which kind of wall slams you end up preferring. Alright, Ayane's holds are generally based around kind of like knocking the opponent away. Like here, I could show you like another example, like her low kick hold. You see right there, they're usually based around kind of like knocking the opponent away, but she does have a couple interesting holds. Let's see, she has a special mid punch hold and a special mid kick hold. So here, let me show you one. Alright, with this one, you could get off a free juggle with this one. You could do the same stuff as like the 6-4T combos. So that's cool, that's cool. Another stuff you can also do is you can also do her KK for like different kind of like launch mix-ups and like stuff like that. Alright, let me just show you her mid-kick hold right now. This one will give her normal one just gives you a little reset, which just gives you a little bit of frame advantage. But if you do like the back forward, then you can end up getting like a super launcher with this one. Like, check this out. Then you can end up getting like a decent juggle for solid damage. So it's even crazier under a ceiling. Alright, before I finish off, I just want to show you some stuff that I don't want you to do with Ayane. What I don't want you to do is do this move on block. This is PPK on block. This move is stupidly unsafe on block. Right here, like let me just take a look to see what its frames are on block. It's minus 30 on block. See, it wasn't even finished and registered when I put the box up. There's another version that's PP delay K. It's just as stupidly unsafe on block at minus 29. The opponent can punish you with pretty much whatever the hell they want. So like their biggest throw, they can like strike punish you. They can do some like other sort of shenanigans. I mean, like run under you. So I mean, like you can be punished really hard for doing that. So don't do that. Another move I don't want you to do is your 236K. This move is not as nearly as unsafe as like any variation of like this. That's like 66K. But for 236K, at minus 13, you can be throw punished for free. So a thing I end up seeing like a lot of Ayanes end up doing. Is to do this. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Then run up. 236K. And right there, if it gets blocked, you're right in your opponent's face, prompt to get punished. Like if I see you or doing any of this crap, the Ayane gods are just to come around and just smack you across the room. So don't do this stuff. This one also. This is back turn 6H plus K. Let's see. How negative is this one on block? Oh, look at that. It's minus 29. So yes. Do not use this on neutral or on an opponent's block. If you are going to use that move, only use it like in juggles or in combos enders. That's what it's primarily for. But if you get blocked, yeah, the opponent can punish you with a hell of a lot of stuff. So yeah, don't do that one either. Other ones that I don't really want you to use is like 7K. See that right there is minus 30 on block. There's a back turn version that's a lot faster. I mean, yeah, if you end up hitting your opponent with that, you feel like a badass, but don't make a habit out of it. Like this one is just bad. The only time you really hit is if you're either whiff punishing something, which at 18 frames is a bit tricky, or as a low crush. But other than that, like just pretend those moves like don't exist or something like that. Another thing also I see Ayanes do is they love to use this move. Like if you can get the opponent to block the second hit, good. You're at +1. Even something like back turn 6K is also like on +1. Like that is a good move. But this one, if you use it as your approach move all the times, it can become a crutch really easily. Like that, what I see is a lot of Ayanes do this, and they're gonna get like smacked out of the room if you do that. And also, be careful with using this one. Like, yes, this is fine. Like, if you're certain that it's gonna get blocked, that's okay. Like, hell, I use it a fair bit too, but be careful that the second hit is high and can be crouched on there, and you can be punished. Like, you do have this to, and I think you have another move also. Let me see what it is. Yeah, that one right there. So, but for either of those moves, like, you don't really like need them. If you could find some way to implement them into your gameplay, then that's good. But yeah, just don't use those moves. Anyways, that's it for now. Okay, this kind of stuff I want to practice with Ayane. It's just general movement things. So getting used to like her like 8P, her like different twirls, even like 6P, 3. You can also use 6P to like jump on an opponent. Then if you're back turn, you can press 7P, then you can kind of jump over them. But be careful if the opponent knows you're going to do it, and you can be punished for that because you're not positive, but it can kind of throw people off. And it's like, it's kind of neat that you have like different like options like that, and like whatever. Also, you can also just practice like generic movements, like just back and forth, like 6-6, 4-4. So yeah, that's always good. But anyways, yeah, that's it for now. If you have any more questions about anything, about like DOA, DOA 6, or you just want to say hi, then you can contact me on my YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. You can also contact Force of Nature on freestepdodge.com. But don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and rate. And also, look out in the future for more DOA guides, including additions to this one. Anyways, this is Force of Nature signing off, and I'll see you next time on Top Tier Tips.